Although it is the world's second smallest continent, Europe welcomes more than half of all the tourists worldwide. In fact, 7 of the 10 most visited countries in the world are European nations. It's easy to see why. A well-preserved cultural heritage, rich history, safety, and efficient infrastructure makes visiting Europe a breeze. Here's a look at the best places to visit in Europe. Number 50. Peloponnese. Shaped much like a large leaf, Peloponnese was traditionally called Morea, which means mulberry leaf. Located in the southernmost region of both Europe and Greece, Peloponnese is a wide peninsula connected to the mainland by the Rio Antario Bridge. Interspersed with classical Greek temples, Venetian fortresses, Byzantine churches, and Mycenaean palaces, the peninsula echoes the ancient cultures and events from its extensive history. Among these ancient ruins is Olympia, where the first Olympic Games were hosted in honor of Zeus. Number 49. Copenhagen. Lying just across the strait from Malmo in Sweden, Copenhagen's history and culture are intricately linked with that of the water all around it. Over the centuries, its strategic location has seen the sleepy fishing village slowly turn into the cool, sophisticated, and happening capital it is today. Its main attraction and most recognizable site, however, is still its 17th century waterfront. Lined with colorful townhouses, the canal harbors lots of historic wooden ships with lively cafes and outdoor terraces dotting its shores. From here, you can take great sightseeing cruises around the scenic canals that lie nearby. Number 48. Istria. Located in northwest Croatia, the beautiful triangular peninsula of Istria is bordered on 3 sides by the glittering Adriatic Sea. A wonderful place to visit, it offers a diverse array of landscapes, towns, and activities to enjoy. Istria's rocky coastline is punctuated with pebbled beaches and charming seaside towns, such as Pula and Rovinj, which are full of winding cobbled alleys, Venetian churches, and Roman temples. The interior of the peninsula is decked with mountains, gentle hills, and peaceful farmland. The picturesque countryside is perfect for hiking or cycling, while the sparkling waters lapping at the scenic shoreline offer plenty of water sports. Number 47. Bruges. Picture-perfect Bruges' medieval streets are dreamy to explore. Its delightful cobbled streets give way to cafe-lined squares and meandering canals as ancient church spires tower over everything. One of the most scenic places in Europe, it is nicknamed the Venice of the North and is the most popular city to visit in Belgium. While it is undoubtedly lovely, it can get overcrowded with tourists, so it's best to try and visit midweek if possible. Wandering around this charming city, you'll find atmospheric bars and cafes hidden away amongst its alleys, perfect for sampling some of Belgium's fantastic beers. Number 46. Belgrade.
The capital of Serbia, Belgrade has a long history which involves not only Romans and Slavic tribes, but also Ottomans and Habsburg royals. In most recent times, it was the capital of Yugoslavia. A proud, bold city, Belgrade has an eclectic energy all its own, with Soviet blocks next to Golden Age Art Nouveau buildings. It's also a lively place to be, and one of the most hip capitals in Eastern Europe. Spend time sipping coffee in quirky cafes, stroll along the pedestrianized boulevard, and hit up one of the packed bars in the Riverside Quarter.
Number 45.
Scottish Highlands. The Scottish Highlands form a rugged mountainous region of northern Scotland. There are many things to do amongst the dramatic scenery of this picturesque area. There's Glencoe Valley, where red deer roam and waterfalls hide. Close to here, Ben Nevis calls, with the highest mountain peak in the United Kingdom. Elsewhere, Loch Ness sits in the Central Highlands and is where you can try to catch a glimpse of the legendary Loch Ness Monster, or simply take a stroll and enjoy the serene atmosphere. The Scottish Highlands are also home to Inverness, the largest city in the region.
Number 44. Malta. Packed full of historical sites, stunning natural landscapes, and a warm climate, Malta has a lot going for it. Located just off of the southern tip of Sicily and the coast of North Africa, this tiny archipelago bursts with brilliant Mediterranean culture and brims with a seducing mix of Maltese customs combined with Sicilian and Middle Eastern influences. From ancient temple ruins to secret bays and breathtaking cliffs, Malta's rocky landscape is overflowing with ancient monuments, including the megalithic temples of Malta, which are thought to be the world's oldest freestanding structures. Number 43.
Mostar. Mostar in Bosnia and Herzegovina is famous for its old bridge over the Neretva River. In fact, the name Mostar derives from Mostari, meaning bridge keeper. The bridge was built in 1556 under the orders of the occupying Ottomans, but was destroyed 427 years later in 1993 by Croat forces during the Balkan Wars. Though it's easily reachable on a day trip from neighboring Croatia, to get the most out of your visit to Mostar, the best thing to do is stay overnight. The crowds of day trippers trickle away, and the restaurants high above the river along cobbled streets light up.
Number 42.
High Tatras. This rugged collection of mountains on the border of northern Slovakia is the tallest range in the Carpathian Mountains. Mount Krivan is the highest peak and is a symbol of the Slovak pride, luring many of its countrymen to climb to the summit. Over 100 emerald lakes, gushing waterfalls, and alpine meadows characterize this beautiful region, making it a great place to hike around. In the winter, skiers flock to the snow-covered slopes of the High Tatras.
Number 41. Wild Atlantic Way. The Wild Atlantic Way is exactly what you think it is. Picture dramatic sea cliffs, crashing waves, and windswept beaches, all joined up by road over a whopping 2,500 kilometers. The route runs from Donegal in the north of Ireland all the way down to the island's west coast, finishing in Kinsale in County Cork. This long coastal road has always been there, of course, but now there's a shiny new sticker on it, just waiting to be added to your World Road Trip collection. Number 40.
Berlin. The capital city of Germany, Berlin is widely associated with its World War II history and former division of East and West Germany by the Berlin Wall during the Cold War. Since the fall of the historic wall in 1989, Berlin today is now a vast, unified city, diverse in ethnic groups, and abundant in sightseeing attractions, culture, and nightlife. Many tourists are drawn to Berlin's famous historic structures, which include the Brandenburg Gate and the Reichstag. Although most of the Berlin Wall was demolished, there are some portions still standing near Checkpoint Charlie and the Reichstag.
Number 39. Madeira. Sporting the nickname Floating Garden of the Atlantic, Madeira is a fertile oasis in the Atlantic Ocean between Portugal and North Africa, popular for its lush green landscapes, flower gardens, and wines. Must-see places in Madeira include the Orchid Garden and the Laura Silva Forest, which harbors the world's largest concentration of laurel. The capital and largest city of Madeira is Funchal, home to historic churches and fortresses, as well as the tree-lined promenade, which presents spectacular ocean views. Number 38.
Krakow. This southern Polish city, close to the Czech Republic, is a former royal capital. There is a beguiling mix of medieval buildings and modern-day youthful nightlife to soak up here. Krakow is not only known for its old town, complete with the 13th century market square, which is where you'll find the iconic Cloth Hall, the grandiose centerpiece of the square. The former Jewish quarter, with all its synagogues, is somber to walk around, and many tourists visit Krakow to take a trip to Auschwitz, a haunting yet important experience.
Number 37. Alsace region. A picturesque region nestled between the Vosges Mountains and the Rhine River in northeastern France, Alsace boasts a variety of charming towns that seem to be taken straight from a fairy tale. Having switched hands between French and Germany so many times over the last 2,000 years, it's not pretentious to say Alsace has a unique character. Nostalgia runs rampant throughout this region. Wine remains the way of life as it has for centuries. In medieval villages, the town square marks the center point for dozens of narrow cobbled streets, most of which are swathed in bright colors, bedecked with flowers, and half-wooden houses. Number 36. Algarve. Sunny Mediterranean climate, gorgeous beaches, picturesque towns, fabulous cuisine, and affordable costs are just some of the reasons that make the Algarve one of the most popular destinations in Portugal. Located in the country's southernmost region, the Algarve offers a feast for the eyes, from tranquil landscapes of olive groves, traditional whitewashed villages, to the wild, windswept coast, with its dramatic cliffs dotted with summer resorts. Faro is the region's capital, and Lagos is the area's hotspot for nightlife. Number 35.
Lake Bled. Slovenia's spectacular Lake Bled sits in the Julian Alps in the northwest of the country. This dazzling, mirror-like body of water is backed by tree-covered hills and snow-peaked mountains for one of the most awe-inspiring natural wonders in Eastern Europe. There's Bled Castle sitting high on a cliff above the lake, the Bled Island in the center of the lake, reached by traditional wooden boats called pletna. There are a range of hiking paths around the lake, meandering in and out of woodlands and villages. The town of Bled is a popular place to base yourself to explore the lake.
Number 34. Faroe Islands. You'll need at least a week to explore all the captivating attractions the 18 volcanic Faroe Islands have to offer. Just a short flight from mainland Europe, the island country has been associated with the Kingdom of Denmark, but it is actually self-governed. What makes the archipelago so special is that it's incredibly underrated and untouristy. Did you know that you can see the northern lights here from November to February? Apart from its spectacular scenery of majestic valleys, remote villages, and jaw-dropping waterfalls, it's also a popular spot for nature enthusiasts seeking a glimpse of thousands of coastal birds, including cliff-top puffin colonies. Number 33. Vienna. Elegant waltzes and Johann Strauss immediately come to mind when one thinks of Vienna, the capital city of Austria and its largest city. The city holds more than 200 balls each year, but the city is also known for other classical composers such as Mozart, Brahms, Beethoven, and Schubert. Travelers can take a break from music by visiting the Hofburg, which houses the Habsburg rulers' imperial jewelry, and the Kunstgerätschis, a museum that has an outstanding collection of paintings by old masters. Vienna is also famous for its cafes, where travelers can rest their weary feet while deciding which museum or park to visit next. Number 32. Athens. Athens is a sprawling metropolis packed with the history and culture befitting the capital city of Greece. In fact, it's one of the world's oldest cities and has been continually lived in by people for more than 3,400 years. Its iconic landmarks include the Acropolis as well as the Temple of Olympian Zeus, amongst other less renowned but equally ancient sites. Home to nearly half of Greece's population, Athens is also a lively place to visit with lots of fantastic restaurants and atmospheric cafes and bars. Number 31. Normandy. Normandy may look pretty and serene today, but this province on the west coast of France hasn't always been this way. From the 9th century onwards, the region was colonized by the Vikings and took its current name, Normandy, the country of the Northmen. Over the next centuries, many battles were fought between England and France, but the biggest occurred in 1944 when Allied forces wrestled it back from Nazi occupiers. As you roam Normandy, you'll come across these historic battlefields, as well as magnificent medieval buildings, gorgeous gardens, and the rocky island of Mont Saint-Michel. Number 30. Stockholm. Stockholm takes the cake when it comes to beautiful cities. Sitting on a sprawling archipelago within the Baltic Sea, the capital of Sweden comprises 14 different islands, all linked by 50 bridges. 1/3 of the area within the city limits is made up of water, while another third comprises parks and woodlands. As a result, Stockholm is one of Europe's healthiest cities and a great place in which to spend some time. The Old Town features a stunning collection of ochre-colored, Instagram-worthy buildings. It also boasts iconic tourist attractions like the impressive Royal Palace, the masterful cathedral, and the Nobel Prize Museum. Number 29. Balearic Islands. East of the Spanish mainland, the 4 chief Balearic Islands, Ibiza, Formentera, Majorca, and Menorca, maintain a character distinct from the rest of Spain and from each other. While Ibiza is renowned for its party scene, Formentera presents a much quieter and more relaxing alternative. Majorca and Menorca, the 2 largest of the islands, are home to stunning scenery, a plethora of historic sites, and fantastic towns and cities such as Palma de Mallorca. This is the largest city in the Balearic Islands and boasts a truly impressive Gothic cathedral. Number 28. Lofoten Islands. Rising dramatically from the sea, the Lofoten Islands' rugged peaks, plunging fjords, and scenic beaches and coves make for an impressive sight. Located just off the northwest of Norway, the attractive archipelago is home to sheep-filled fields and untouched landscapes with sheltered bays and sleepy fishing villages dotted about. Connected to the mainland by tunnels and bridges, the islands are fascinating and photogenic to explore, with hiking, cycling, and sailing all popular. The Lofoten Islands are also a great place to watch the marvelous aurora borealis light up the skies. Number 27.
Tallinn. The capital of Estonia, Tallinn entices. With its 14th century old town built as a defense system, when you walk through the impressive medieval Viru gates, you can feel the history right away. Part of Tallinn's city wall are still walkable, complete with windows where you can glimpse the charming city below. There are also historic churches, such as St. Olaf's Church, dating back to the 1200s. Tallinn has a hipster side too, which can be found at a reclaimed factory area where former warehouses now contain trendy restaurants, bars, and shops.
Number 26.
Plitvice Lakes National Park. Huddled in central Croatia, Plitvice Lakes National Park is famous for its 16 terraced lakes, all conjoined by waterfalls that spill into a limestone canyon. This lovely area is a playground for people with a sense of adventure who enjoy hiking amongst fantastic scenery. You can expect boardwalks and hiking trails that wind through limestone rock formations and cliffs, and around the variegated waters of the lakes. That color change is down to the different mineral content of each lake. It's no wonder that this sublime area was chosen to be Croatia's first national park.
Number 25.
Meteora. Meaning elevated in Greek, Meteora is a jutting rock formation in northern Greece, a wild landscape made up of hill-like boulders that dominate the skyline. Part of what makes that magnificent landscape so amazing, however, are the monasteries that precariously cling to the rocks. Set on cliffs with staircases cut into the very stone itself, this religious site dates back to the 15th century, and some still welcome visitors to this day. The most famous of all, the Holy Trinity Monastery, perches an amazing 400 meters atop a natural rock tower and is a breathtaking sight to set eyes on. Number 24. Salzkammergut. Salzkammergut is a beautiful resort area that starts with Salzburg and heads east into a land of lakes. Sparkling clean lakes, green hills, wonderful mountains, romantic towns like St. Wolfgang and Hallstatt make up this region. Travelers who have seen the movie The Sound of Music will know what this lake region looks like, because that movie was filmed in and around the city of Salzburg and the neighboring Salzkammergut region. The resort area is popular with sunbathers as well as visitors who seek relaxing spa treatments. Visitors can join in the relaxed moods by donning the ever-popular resort wear lederhosen for men and dirndl outfits for women. Number 23.
Amalfi Coast. Located just to the south of Naples is the Amalfi Coast, one of Italy's most alluring and attractive stretches of coastline. Rising steeply above the sparkling waters of the Mediterranean are rugged cliffs and stunning mountains with idyllic towns and villages dotted about. As well as boasting beautiful scenery and gorgeous landscapes, there are also the pastel-colored palaces and piazzas of Positano, Amalfi, and Ravello to explore. Whether lounging on a beach, hiking in the hills, or sailing along its sun-kissed shores, the beauty of the Amalfi Coast is undeniable.
Number 22. Budapest. Straddling the Danube that runs through it, Hungary's vibrant capital is an increasingly popular destination and really has everything you could want from a city. Budapest has some wonderful architecture on show that ranges from Baroque and Neoclassical to Art Nouveau, with the elegant Fisherman's Bastion and enormous Parliament building being just two of its many highlights. Around the city, enjoy the much-loved thermal baths, spend an evening at the opera, pedal around Margaret Island, and hop around the emblematic ruined bars. Number 21.
Lapland. Located far north in the Arctic Circle, the winter wonderland of Lapland straddles the snow-coated frozen expanse of Finland, Sweden, Norway, and Russia. Full of endless forests, glacial lakes, and glinting ice fields, the picturesque polar region is magical to explore. Hiking, skiing, and dog sledding are all popular. Staying in a cozy cabin in the woods or one of its scenic, snow-covered towns is an excellent way to experience the best of Lapland. To top it all off, no visit to the land of Santa Claus can be complete without catching a glimpse of the Northern Lights.
Number 20. Lisbon. Stretching along the banks of the Tagus River near the Atlantic Ocean, Portugal's capital and largest city winds upward among 7 steep hills, forming an enchanting destination of colorful neighborhoods reverberating in traditional fado music. The city's oldest district is Alfama, an old Moorish quarter distinct for its maze of cobblestone streets, rustic architecture, and St. George's Castle. The best way to experience Lisbon is by taking one of the vintage trams, such as the well-known Tram 28, which winds along historic quarters, gardens, and main attractions. Number 19. Amsterdam. Amsterdam is a pleasant city marked by meandering canals lined with tall, narrow row houses. It is the city where Anne Frank kept her most famous diary, so visiting the house where she wrote it is a must. This Venice of the North also is a city of great art, beginning with the Rijksmuseum, home to great European masterpieces, Rembrandt's house, and the more modern Van Gogh Museum. Take a break from sightseeing to tour and sample Holland's beer and the Heineken Brewery. Number 18. Bay of Kotor. A sweeping bay in the eastern Adriatic Sea, the Bay of Kotor is situated in southwestern Montenegro. It's a beautiful spot ringed by jagged green hills and medieval towns, with red-roofed houses spilling down the coastline. Best explored by car along its winding roads, the region is packed full with incredible sights, from old citadels to islands topped with monasteries. There's plenty of chances for seafood and delicious dinners by the sea to complement the scenery. Kotor Old Town is a Venetian wonder, surrounded by walls with a mountain backdrop that's well worth using as a base. Number 17. Provence. The quintessential region of the south of France, the Provence is the location of the most famous French Riviera, a picture-perfect destination of glittering coastline meets jet-set living. Many of the towns along the Provence coast were founded by ancient Greek colonists and later became part of the Roman Empire. Today, there are still examples of this ancient history in the form of amphitheaters and aqueducts. Head inland and there's still more history. Hilltop villages full of rustic lifestyles hide medieval lanes and monuments. Combine all this with natural, rugged scenery, and the Provence seems more and more like a storybook than a real destination. Number 16. Vatnajökull National Park. Home to the largest glacier in Europe, the Vatnajökull National Park is so vast it encompasses around 14% of the country. Divided into 4 separately managed territories, the park's most frequently visited section is the southern territory of Skaftafell, where trails lead you past blue-tinted glacier tongues and waterfalls. Hardy adventurers can climb the Vatnajökull Glacier or explore a long row of volcanic craters. The park has a wealth of easily accessible features too, including the powerful Dettifoss, a waterfall famous for the sheer volume of water that cascades over its rim. Number 15. Andalusia. Covering Spain's southern part, Andalusia is a fascinating region of the country to visit. It is home to breathtaking landscapes, beautiful Moorish architecture, and a wealth of marvelous historical landmarks. Here, you'll find the magnificent Sierra Nevada range, arid desert scenery, and the glorious beaches along the Costa del Sol. As the region used to be ruled by the Moors and the Romans, there are loads of historic towns boasting everything from old medieval cities and crumbling fortresses to massive cathedrals and awe-inspiring palaces. Additionally, the magnificent Moorish architecture at the Alhambra in Granada really is a must-see when in the region. Number 14. Venice. Venice is for romantics who love gliding through the Grand Canal with a gondolier singing Italian love songs. This is, after all, the city that sent Marco Polo off on his journey to China. Start your exploration of Venice at San Marco Square, the city's most famous square. Here you'll find the Doge's Palace, the seat of Venetian government, and St. Mark's Basilica, the main church in Venice with stunning views from the tower. Venice also is famous for its bridges along the canals. Number 13. Transylvania. The central Romanian region of Transylvania is synonymous with stories of Dracula and bloodthirsty vampires. Whilst not entirely true, the area is mythical in terms of its natural beauty. Bordered by the Carpathian Mountains, visiting Transylvania is like being transported into a slow-paced medieval world. The countryside abounds with quaint villages and local life between pastures and swaths of hills blanketed by trees. There are many historic fortresses built by medieval German settlers, including the famous Bran Castle. These daunting spires make up what is popularly known as Dracula's Castle. Number 12.
London. No superlative is too great when it comes to describing London, the capital of England and the United Kingdom. This bustling city is history personified, from Westminster Abbey to Buckingham Palace. Be sure to watch the changing of the guards. Shopping, from Knightsbridge to Carnaby Street, is a must-see, as is riding a double-decker bus and the Tube, or subway, where one is constantly reminded to mind the gap. London is also famous for live theater. Be sure to stop in at a local pub for a pint after a performance.
Number 11.
Bavaria. Bavaria is the southern German region with a culture all of its own. In fact, many of Bavaria's traditions and much of its cuisine are often conflated with Germany as a whole. Beer halls, bratwurst, and that typical Bavarian architecture that makes everything feel as though it's from a fairy tale. And in some ways, it really is like a fairy tale, with its lofty mystical mountains, lush green valleys studded with forests, serene mirror-like lakes as big as seas, and still-standing castles. From its sublime nature to its charming medieval towns, there's almost no end to the attractions you could be visiting on a trip to Bavaria.
Number 10. Prague. Prague was given the nickname City of 100 Spires, and it's not wholly incorrect. The old town of Prague is bristling with Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque architecture, boasting soaring spires that make the skyline like something from another time. Now the capital of the Czech Republic, Prague was once capital of the Kingdom of Bohemia. Prague has a lot of sites pointing to its history, like the 9th century AD Prague Castle. There's the 14th century Charles Bridge, boasting its stunningly ornate Gothic towers, and the Old Town Square, where you'll find Prague Astronomical Clock. Number 9. Istanbul. Istanbul may be on the outer fringes of Europe, but well worth a visit when you're traveling abroad. Turkey's biggest city is a fascinating place, filled with rich history, colorful markets, and mosques. Top attractions include the Bosporus that separates Europe and Asia, the ecumenical Hagia Sophia that's been a Greek Orthodox Christian basilica, then an imperial mosque, and now a museum, and the 15th century Topkapi Palace, also a museum today. Get in a little shopping at the Grand Bazaar that's been in operation since 1461. Number 8. Tuscany. Italy's most famous region, Tuscany conjures images of beautiful rolling hills, olive groves, vineyards, and cypress trees. The many pleasures of Tuscany include tasting wine in Chianti, simply relaxing in hill towns such as San Gimignano, or exploring Renaissance art in Florence. The medieval city of Siena also offers excellent works of art, while its historical center is one of the most popular places to visit in Italy. Elba, the largest of several Tuscan islands, offers great beaches, while Pisa is world famous for its Leaning Tower. Number 7. Barcelona. Located in northeastern Spain, Barcelona is one of the country's top travel destinations because it offers everything tourists look for in a European city, from historic architecture to lively shopping and buzzing nightlife. Unique to Barcelona are the architectural marvels of Spain's famous architect Antoni Gaudí, which include the Casa Batlló and the famous Sagrada Familia Church. Both of these extraordinary structures feature combinations of fascinating designs, shapes, and colors. Popular activities in Barcelona include strolling along Rambla, a tree-lined pedestrian avenue, and sunbathing on Barceloneta, one of the city's most popular beaches. Number 6. Fjords of Norway. One of the top reasons many people travel to Norway is to see its majestic fjords. Shaped by glaciers over an incomprehensibly long 2.5 million years or so, the towering U-shaped valleys and their carved cliffs create a stunning landscape that's almost too huge to take in. Norway boasts over 1,000 fjords, only a portion of which are visited en masse, meaning it's still possible to find a slice of solitude. Taking a cruise ship is a great way to see the soaring walls of the fjords as the boat glides on the waters. Alternatively, hiking atop the fjords offers a bird's-eye view of the incredible landscape. Number 5.
Paris. With some of the most recognizable monuments in the world, Paris is a must-see city to visit. Songs laud Paris in the springtime, but any time of year is a good time to visit this riveting city on the River Seine. It's a city loaded to the brim with history, culture, great food, and high fashion. The iconic Eiffel Tower is one landmark you won't want to miss. Its great churches include the Sacred Heart and Notre Dame. When it comes to opulence, there's Versailles with its famed Hall of Mirrors, while the Louvre houses one of the greatest art collections in the world.
Number 4. Dubrovnik. Set in the south of Croatia on the Adriatic Sea, Dubrovnik is famous for its old town. This walled medieval town was shelled in 1991 during the Balkan Wars, but has been restored to its former glory. Take a walk along the old city walls and be beguiled by the Baroque buildings, or enjoy a lazy afternoon at street-side restaurants, soaking up the splendor of the city. The Old Town has also gained popularity for being the filming location of Game of Thrones and Star Wars, which just goes to show what an iconic place the old walled city is. Number 3.
Swiss Alps. East of Lake Geneva lies the Grand Alpine heart of Switzerland, a massively impressive region of classic Swiss scenery, high peaks, sheer valleys, and cool lakes. The Bernese Oberland, centered on the Jungfrau region, is the most accessible and touristed area. Wherever you go in this region, you are greeted with towering mountains and alpine valleys, and there are also some impressive glaciers. Consequently, hiking, rock climbing, and skiing are all very popular activities here. Beyond this first great wall of peaks is another, even more daunting range on the Italian border, in which the Matterhorn is the star attraction.
Number 2.
The Cyclades. Lying in the southern part of the Aegean Sea, the Cyclades are considered some of the most beautiful islands in the world. Mountains, white cubistic villages, and black and golden sand beaches combine to make the islands picture postcard perfect. Although the iconic islands of Santorini and Mykonos are justifiably the main draws, there are loads of other great destinations to discover. Since the entire world have discovered the Cyclade Islands, they tend to be very crowded with visitors, especially in high summer. But most people feel the island's attractions are worth putting up with the crowds.
Number 1. Rome. Formerly the capital of the Roman Empire,
Rome today is the government seat and capital city of Italy. Located in the country's central region of Lazio, Rome is a vast and complex city that is both historic and modern at the same time. Best known for housing ancient Roman structures and the Vatican City, Rome has endured for more than 2,500 years as an important center for culture, power, and religion. From ancient romantic plazas to stunning cathedrals and Renaissance architecture, there is so much to see and do in Rome that it could take months or even years to see it all.